In Psalm 3, verse 6, King David is telling us, I will not fear the tens of thousands drawn up against me on every side. In Psalm 3, verse 6, King David is telling us that although he is surrounded by thousands of enemies, nevertheless he is not afraid of them. And the moment we read this verse, we realize that it cannot be me, because I am not surrounded by thousands of enemies. I am a nice man. I have many friends, and I have no enemies. So I am not surrounded by enemies, and perhaps this verse is not for me. Nevertheless, whatever is there in the Bible may be relevant for us. It may have some meaning or message for us. And that's exactly what we are going to look now. David was a king of a nation called Israel. Now, Israel was founded and established by God Himself. Israel is a very small nation compared to other nations that are very large. Israel is very small, yet it has one special characteristic, and that is that it was established by God Himself for His plan and purpose. And as we read the history of Israel, we find that Israel has been again and again attacked by hostile nations surrounding it. Whenever Israel followed their God properly, they survived, they were victorious. But when they went against their God, they perished, they were destroyed. But somehow, again and again, Israel could come out of the destruction that they were inflicted. As we look up the recent history during World War II, during the Second World War, the Nazi Germany killed millions of Jews in Europe and drove them out of the land. And the Jews gathered in Israel. And there they started the nation once again. And Israel as a nation does exist even today, but is surrounded by Muslim nation. If we see the geography of Israel, we find that Israel is surrounded by Muslim nations. And Muslim nations, the Islamic nations, they don't like Israel. They don't like Jews. They are hostile towards them. And they have fought many wars before. In the 1948 Arab-Israel War, the Israel was victorious. But the tension and the enmity still continues. And in order to survive in such a situation, when you are surrounded by enemies, is not comfortable. But David is telling us in Psalm 3 verse 9 that I will not fear the tens of thousands drawn up against me on every side. If I am thrown in a situation where I am surrounded by enemies, then it would be very much uncomfortable for me. I would not like to live in such a situation where I am surrounded by enemies. It is full of tension. It is frightening. It is fearful. But David had no other option. He had to live in his land as a king. And while doing so, though he is surrounded by enemies, he's still declaring that I will not fear of the thousands of enemies around me. In order to achieve a mentality like that, we have to have that confidence in ourselves and in our God. Though you may or may not be surrounded by enemies today, you have to live fearlessly. For that, you have to have confidence in yourself and in your God. Today, even if you are not surrounded by enemies and you may be in a comfortable situation, yet, being a believer, you are surrounded by evil spirits all around you. And you have to live fearlessly nevertheless. And for that you must have right relation with your God. Then only you can live fearlessly, just as David has said in Psalm 3 verse 6, I will not fear the tens of thousands drawn up against me on every side.